everybody, welcome to the first card in July's special Inked Botanicals Suite class. I am going to be sharing with you today 7 cards, and there are 2 bonus projects that I will share some links with you as well. I'm going to start with this first card today, and it's really quite straightforward. There's not a lot to it, and it's just going to ease us in gently to the stamps and the techniques that I'm going to share with you. The colours that we're using throughout the class are Lost Lagoon, Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, and we're using the Designer Series papers, and this one here is some really nice simple stamping. So products that you'll need to get us started: you have a card base, and that's cut from Calypso Coral card. Give that a nice crease. Next, there is a piece of Designer Series paper. I've gone with this sort of tartan style effect. You've got this Lost Lagoon shade on the back. It's entirely up to you, of course, which papers you use throughout the class. Feel free to mix them up. Don't feel that you have to use the patterns that I've used. And then next we have a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is the piece that we're going to do the stamping on. Now you'll notice in these projects I've used Very Vanilla instead of Basic White, and don't often use those colours. I don't often use Very Vanilla, but I think the Very Vanilla tone really suits the papers in this set. So we've got 3 images. You've got a leaf, you've got this lovely full flower on the stem, and then you have this flower head. So I'm going to use all 3 of those, and I'm going to start with the centre one. So I've just opened the wrong ink pad. I'm going to start with Calypso Coral. I'm going to ink this up really nicely. Now you'll notice this is taller than our piece of card, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move that down ever so slightly so that the stems come off the bottom, and I'm going to stamp really nice. Now these stamps, they're sort of distressed looking, so you won't get a full block of colour, but reassured that that is the way it's meant to look. Next up we have the leaf, and that's being stamped in Lost Lagoon. That's also going to come off the bottom just ever so slightly, and I'm just moving that over so that I can get it all in. Perfect. And then I have these lovely flower heads stamped in Crushed Curry, and I've just got 2 of those. 1 and then 2. Okay. For a little bit of added detail, I'm going to add my favourite little black line. That, for those of you that follow my classes regularly, you'll know that this is one of my favourite techniques, and it will just give a little border around the edge, and it sort of focuses the eye. I think it also breaks up that sort of plain space really nicely as well. Okay, now my line is obviously not perfect, but I think that's all part of making a handmade card. So this I'm going to put straight onto the card. It's going to go down flat, but I'm going to put it on at an angle, which is again quite unusual for me. I do tend to put things on straight, but it's nice to mix things up every now and again. Okay, there we go. So for my sentiment, I have just a small piece of scrap Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Lost Lagoon. Now the sentiments that you get with this set are, 2 seconds. The sentiments you get with this set are just a note, congratulations, hello friend, thank you, happy birthday, and lots of love. So you can choose whichever one you want. I'm going to go with the one that I've used on the card, which is Just a Note. Give that a nice little stamp. And then just trim that down into a little strip. I'm going to angle it slightly. There we go. There's my little banner. And the next thing I've got is I've got the ribbon that goes with this suite. This is the bordered ribbon. It's Lost Lagoon in colour, but it is just a little bit distressed as well, so it goes really nicely. I'm going to fold this over so that it's just a little bit wider than my banner, and I'm going to pop that on there. So the first thing we'll do is I'm going to stick this down, and when you've got your attaching ribbon, double-sided tape is really useful. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting that down on my card. There you go. Fold it over. You may want to trim it down a little bit more. And then we've got this lovely, that's going to sit just on the top. Now I'm going to raise that slightly, so I'm just going to stick a little bit of foam pad underneath it. These are Stampin' Dimensionals. Just pop that down. And there you have it. That is card number 1, all finished. I do hope you like the finished look. You've got a piece of Very Vanilla to stick in the middle, and that's it for card number 1. So I'll see you all over on the next card. Bye for now.